All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to follow the money. We're opening up the case files on the world of forensic accounting, a place where every single number tells a story and every transaction leaves a clue.
Think about it. Some of the most intense situations you can imagine. A partner secretly funneling company profits into their own pocket. A nasty divorce where one spouse is hiding a fortune. A fight over a family will where someone thinks the executor is up to no good. They all seem so different on the surface, but they share one critical thing in common.
Yep, that's it. That is the one question that kicks the whole thing off. It's the starting gun for this incredibly complex hunt through a maze of financial records. And, as you can imagine, finding the answer takes a very, very special kind of detective.
So, if that's the big question, how do you even begin to answer it? Well, first, you've got to understand the mission of these financial detectives. What are they actually trying to achieve?
The official name, yeah, it's forensic accounting, which sounds a little dry, right? But forget that. This is not about crunching numbers in a quiet office. This is straight-up financial detective work. It's the art of piecing together a giant financial puzzle when you know for a fact that some of the most important pieces are being hidden on purpose.
Ultimately, the mission is simple to say but incredibly hard to do. Trace the flow of funds, no matter where it leads, through shell companies, across international borders, into anonymous-looking digital wallets. You follow that trail relentlessly until it leads you straight back to the person who's really in control of it all.
Okay, so every good detective has a toolkit, right? So what's in the financial investigator's bag of tricks? Let's open it up and see what they're working with.
You know, the first clue is often something you can see with your own eyes. It's what we call a lifestyle analysis. Basically, you're just asking, does the story match the reality? So if someone's official tax return says modest salary, but their social media is full of luxury cars and you know their kids go to a ridiculously expensive private school, well, that gap, that's not just a gap, it's a giant flashing red flag. And that is often the very first thread you start to pull.
But the real heavy lifting, the core of the whole operation, is something called a funds flow analysis. It's a super methodical process. Step 1, you grab every single bank statement, every financial record you can get your hands on. Step 2, you start mapping it all out. You literally draw lines for every transfer, creating this like spider web of how the money is moving around. And then step 3, that's where the magic happens. You start looking for the weird stuff, the outliers, the strange patterns, and especially transfers to accounts that nobody has ever mentioned before.
And believe me, the toolkit gets way deeper than just bank statements. Investigators are using what's called public record OSINT, that's open source intelligence, to dig up things like hidden properties or secret companies. They'll pore over tax returns where, one tiny little line item about dividend income could blow the case wide open by pointing to a secret brokerage account. And yeah, these days they can even trace cryptocurrency transactions or sift through piles of invoices looking for anything that just feels off.
All right, so you've got the tools. Now, where do you even start looking? Because let's be real, people aren't just stuffing cash under the mattress these days. The hiding spots are way more sophisticated.
The trick here is knowing that every hiding spot leaves its own unique trail of breadcrumbs. For example, you see a bunch of payments going to some new vendor you've never heard of. That could be a shell company. Or maybe the person you're investigating is paying property taxes for a house they don't technically own. Big clue. That could mean it's being held in a trust. You see small, regular bank transfers to a company like a crypto exchange? That's a huge signpost for a hidden digital wallet. Heck, even a tiny recurring monthly fee for a safe deposit box could be the key that unlocks the whole thing.
Okay, this is the fun part. We've got the mission, we've got the tools, we know where to look. Let's put it all into practice and see how a real case gets cracked.
So let's imagine this scenario. It's a pretty messy divorce. One person is absolutely convinced their spouse is hiding a big investment portfolio, something that was never disclosed in the legal paperwork. They just have this gut feeling, But gut feelings don't hold up in court. They need proof, and that's when they call in the financial detective. So, where does the investigator start? The first spark comes from the most unlikely place, a tiny detail on a tax return. A little bit of interest income from a source no one recognizes. That's the thread. Pulling on it, the investigator dives into bank records and finds the trail. These small, automatic transfers happening every month to some fintech app. Okay, now they have something concrete. They get a subpoena for that app, and boom, that's the big discovery. The subpoena reveals a hidden stock portfolio.
But wait, it gets better. There's a twist. Looking at those brokerage records, they find transfers out to a major crypto exchange. And just like that, they've uncovered an even bigger secret, a massive crypto wallet. You see how it works? One tiny clue just snowballed into the next, and the whole scheme just unraveled.
Finding the money, that's like the aha moment. It's the big breakthrough. But the job is not over, not even close. Now you have to take all this information and turn it into something that's totally undeniable.
A truly successful investigation doesn't just end with, "we found it." It ends with a case that is absolutely watertight. That means you have a perfect chain of custody for every single document. You've got these crystal clear diagrams that show exactly how the money moved from point A to point B to point C. You've got a complete inventory of every hidden asset, plus a roadmap for how to actually get it back. And the most important part? Every single claim, every conclusion is tied directly to cold, hard evidence. No guesswork allowed.
You know, our source material for this explainer summed it up perfectly. The end goal is to create a defensible, evidence-led narrative that identifies the assets, the control relationships, and the recovery path. It's not just data, it's a story backed by proof that shows what was hidden, who is pulling the strings, and exactly how to make things right.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. We live in this world of instant digital transactions and incredibly complex legal structures. And it just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? With money moving faster and more invisible than ever before, just how many financial secrets are hiding out there, right in plain sight?